Okay, so that brings us to game session number 66 with the Friendly Tavern, more music scene from Sirenscape in the background there to give us something a little more different than the usual horror I've played or the Dungeon Depths. So
yes,
something a little...
We're not in the dungeon anymore, I think.
We're in Darrakan.
No, you abandoned your quest right at the time of talking to the people you spent all that time getting down to.
For some reason, Josh and yourself and Yodri and all that all were happy to go home.
I think I
was very much against going home.
I think I was AFK, so
I was very much against going home because we didn't set out to.
Well, I wanted to go and visit the other temples.
Well, I actually I wrote the votes down, and there was one vote to stay, the rest to go.
Who was the vote to stay?
That was Stefan at the time.
Okay,
And you went with the group.
Yeah, well, I wanted to stay, but I'd like if the majority want to go, well
so
then
we had go. 3 wanting to go, with M away from the keyboard with a sore neck at the time.
Yeah. So we're back at Darrakan.
So you're back at Darrakan City, in the Knight's Rivet Inn, having gone by Gnome Express across the skies.
That's right, the gnomes came and picked us up because Redrian sent them. Because
if we passed through some sort of gates on our way out, we wouldn't remember anything.
You would forget everything about what was there. Which would make it very hard to report in on what you found.
No, I think we're supposed to have a meeting with Redrian.
You are. So, at the table today we have Ariadna. You're the only one at the table.
Can I have a sec?
You can.
Oh, cool.
We can come back to you.
Thank you.
So, besides Ariadna at the table, we have online Sue.
Yeah. I'm playing Camdu. She's a barbarian princess, 6'4", very strong-willed and strong-minded, and also very strong.
And carrier of one of the green seeds of the Wizards of Wine's winery that the Wednesday group is currently hunting.
Yes, but they don't know that.
or that as players they know, but their characters do not.
Okay.
I've told the players, and I said they can't get them. It makes it very hard to get it from characters if they don't know that character has it.
Is this different to the other seeds we have? Because I know we have another one, don't we? Or is this
I've got the other one. I've got it hidden in my scales.
So, also online today we have M.
Hello, I'm Zal. I am the cleric wizard who now has our lovely bard's shadow. Yeah, which is really annoying, so we'll see how that goes. I'm currently not having a shadow because I currently don't want to display this horrific bloody sigil of
Zargon.
Oh, what's the name again?
Zargon,
that's the one.
Do you want a coffee? Do you want it now?
It would be nice. And also online we have Josh.
Hello, I'm playing Cheval, also known as the Paladin.
Oh god, nice.
Paladin!
So
you read about the lack of shadows and the duplication of shadows at the moment?
Well, don't worry, you won't have to worry too much about that, because as you sit down at the table, you see with you is Zal, Camdu, and Yodri. You do not see Crooks or Emdrak.
Zal probably ponders while we're back in Darrakan, because, he now has a time gap in his memory. I think he passed out.
Well, you were going by Gnome Express, and most people generally try not to remember that.
No, I think I don't remember from getting really annoyed at losing my shadow, and then I'm Darrakan City. Go with that.
Bad things do happen. So, sitting down at the table with you is Redrian, who asks you, how did you go with your investigation on the Zagonites?
Well, they're alive.
What are their interests?
Stealing shadows, apparently, as I point to my lack of shadow.
Did the Zagonites... So, how did the Zagonite steal your shadow?
I may have accidentally activated a cursed scroll of shrinking, and I had been having a very bad day and decided to curse a god out. Or curse just bad. Didn't mean it. Ended up talking to Zargon herself because, cursing the gods in their own house and all that jazz. And she took my shadow, and then Sophia thought it was a great idea to kill herself, so in her revival she got my shadow, and then the party got angry at that. They then manhandled me back into the temple, and then I got Sophia's shadow, and then I really don't remember much after that.
Okay, he holds up a light and says, and currently you have no shadow?
I look down and go, well, unless someone's put the Zargon's holy symbol back around my neck, then yeah.
So where did you leave that, who did you give that holy symbol to?
The last I remember, I put it in my pocket.
I thought you actually gave it back to Mdrak or Sofa to hold for you.
I thought we swapped medallions to see if I would get my shadow back by swapping medallions, and then I think I took it off and put it in my pocket. But I was really not in a good way last session, so I can't quite remember.
Okay, so checking your pockets, you don't actually have the medallion.
Awesome!
And Rodrian says that he's actually sent another group off to finish the investigation of the Zagonites. And 2 of your number have agreed to go off and lead them there.
Did one of those members happen to be Sofa?
Yes, it did.
Well then, if anything, the medallion is probably with her.
Well, at least then you know your shadow will be safe.
That's questionable, but okay. You realize she's a Zagonite, right?
That's probably why she actually had a report on the Zagonites, besides they steal shadows.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting tossed around in a bad way, things happened, and, all that jazz.
It's okay. Calcrix is headed off that way as well, but not sure if Calcrix will end up staying. As Calcrix may be heading off to spend time with family.
Oh, well, I'm sad to see our little dragon go. I wish I could have said goodbye.
They stayed as long as they could, but they we did have some limited window with gnomes and their contraptions.
Growing.
I'm sure you know how unstable their timing can be at times.
Unstable. Understable.
So they took the flight out while it was available.
Yeah, I don't think we want to argue with their timings.
Yeah, no one's been able to get them to agree on a correct time to leave. Apparently they have some complex mechanism timepiece that tells them when they should leave.
Is that thing an artifact?
With the gnomes, who knows? It may just be a timepiece.
Fair enough.
But it also does sit in the heart of most of their machines. So they will be exploring Zargon back in Yalari for a while. At least it will keep you guys free to go off and explore some other things. You might be able to send a few other people with you, seeing how they go. He does have a few between tasks at the moment.
Stay longer down this. A bit hazy on why and how we ended up back here.
You called up to say you were done?
Who called up?
I believe the group called up and had a conversation with them, and they wanted out. So I arranged transportation.
I'm hazy on the details on that part, so...
Yeah. It happens when you lose part of your soul.
Yeah, I'm still really not happy about how that went down, and really not quite sure what to do about it yet.
He's unsure as well. He's not come across people without shadows before.
I may or may not need to converse with my god later and kind of ask a WTF.
Well, he does recommend not offering god stuff because they seem to take the weirdest things when you offer it to them.
I didn't offer my shadow, that's for sure. Zagon took that without permission, per se.
What did you offer?
Knowledge? And she didn't seem happy with that, so, you know. I was put on the spot.
Well, technically she did take knowledge with your shadow.
I mean, yeah, but it's not quite what I had in mind, but, you know, whatever. Gods will be gods, right?
Well, everything I've read about gods say that whatever you ask of them, they may take completely out of context. So be careful what you wish for.
I wasn't even asking Zagon anything. I just wanted out of there. I didn't want to be talking to her. I was shrunk and angry, and it didn't end well. My day got worse.
At least you got bigger.
In
Yeah,
general, I
at
think
least
the
I
session
got
was a series of disasters.
Yeah, I hadn't quite hit rock bottom yet.
So this is rock bottom, or do you have still further to fall?
I don't know. I think I might have climbed up a bit more, so we'll see. We'll see what my god says. If I can even converse with my god. I don't know how this whole shadow stealing things work, unless I happen to, actually get in contact with the god I'm supposed to. Anyway.
Well, I'm sure if you find a god of darkness and ask them about shadows, they'll be able to tell you all about them. I did hear that Zagon is one of those gods of shadow.
Yeah, so she's the one who took my shadow in the first place. I really don't think asking her to get my shadow back is gonna work well for me.
It says, oh, by the way, Crooks left a note for you.
Oh.
Do you want me to read the note?
Yep.
Hi peoples. I had to leave suddenly because the deceitful one decided to go on a new thingy for Regian where she gets more information about that dark god that we can't trust, and we can't trust the deceitful one because she lies. So someone had to go and keep her honest. So I've gone with her, at least until we get back to the dark place. And I've made sure that the rest of the people with the teller of lies actually takes them where they're supposed to go. Because, she faked her death and everything. Bye.
and there is a coffee stain on the letter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, it's authentic.
Almost looks like tears of coffee.
I was sad to go, but I couldn't let her go alone. Who knows what she'd lead those people into? It's a shame I rolled a natural 20 on that, because I'm the only one who knows.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, Coming into the room is a tall elf dressed in light blues and whites. How else would you like to describe yourself?
I have a cape, a hooded cape that's very distinctive. It reminds you of a certain dragon and was perhaps made out of a certain dragon's dropped scales. I have, I guess I look elfily. And I've got a couple of leaves and twigs in my hair. I look slightly ruffled, and I've got a huge satchel of books.
And do we recognise the skulls as skulls?
Well, it'd be lots of little Calcrixes if it was.
Pardon?
It'd be lots of little Calcrixes if it was.
Well, it's generally Calcrix's dropped scales.
You do recognise the type of scale, yes. It was very similar to what Calcrix had.
And I walk over to Redrian and give a little bow and say, you asked for me to join you here?
Says, yes, these fine people need a few extra bodies to help them do whichever task they feel most appropriate next.
Yes. Will they be going on quests?
There's many new stories to tell.
So they'll be seeking new knowledge?
Yep.
That suits me just fine. I really like new knowledge. I've got a lot of space left in my book.
He's sure he'll help you fill it up so you can start a new one.
Oh yeah, I need to do that. It's really important that I do that. I greet the group, and this sounds really bad, but insert name here because I only found out about this yesterday. I will come up with a name before the end of the session. I just greet everybody and tell them that I am a seeker of knowledge and experiences, and I'd be happy to join them if they want me.
Do I have to do a roll to discern whether her cape is actually made out of Calcrix's skulls or another white dragon's?
It could be any white dragons, but it also matches what Calcrix had.
I also I forgot, I should tell the group that Calcrix mentioned to me that she couldn't stay with the group. She really wanted to, but she felt that it was more important that she protect a bunch of people from somebody she called the Deceitful One. Sounds a bit concerning. But she wanted to leave someone that could take care of your group as well, so that you guys weren't left without her. And I showed them my little coffee maker, and I'm like, she even taught me how to make coffee for you guys if you want it.
At which point you see a little plant figure looking over the top of their coffee machine.
You recognise the plant figure. As the one that I got from the Avatar.
I'm very surprised that she would give that plant up so quickly to someone
It's
to prove
because she didn't want to leave the plant in the place of darkness. And because I am a caregiver to plants and trees. I come from a druidic clan, and we have a tree of life, whom we all have a responsibility to take care of. And Calcrix couldn't think of someone better to take care of her plant than someone like me.
How did you first meet Calcrix?
She came across us. She wasn't actually very old. She just departed from, I think it was probably your group from her descriptions. And she was feeling a bit lost and a bit lonely, and she came across a number of my family members as we were out in the forest collecting stories and other things for our tree. And we invited her to stay with us for a little while because I told her a really good story and about how coffee beans came about for the first time. And she was really intrigued by that. And so we brought her back and showed her what coffee beans actually are and how they grow, and what they look like, and taught her how to make coffee.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was technically my parents.
It must have been they got separated.
Many years
It
ago.
was in the Dwarven Hold, wasn't it?
Yeah, right after you did the dwarf, so around level 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she stayed with us for about 5 or 6 seasons. And then she decided she wanted to go off and find her old friends.
So. Okay, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I hope we get on well then.
I'm presuming that you're Zal?
I am indeed.
Ah, yes, we heard a lot about you. Crooks really liked you. Oh, she liked all of you, but, you know, there were people that she liked snuggling with. I think it was the Paladin?
Yeah, just pro tip, don't look at the Paladin.
Oh, I've already looked at the Paladin.
Yeah, okay,
I understand.
Try not to. It gives you a headache after a while.
It can, yes. I've met other Paladins before, though. I've been on many adventures because one of my roles is to collect knowledge from my tree, and a part of that knowledge is getting to know the world so I can bring that back to my tree, because my tree can't explore the world. Does anyone else introduce themselves?
Camdu will just step forward and shake your hand and say, I'm Camdu.
And for once, Camdu actually looks up to someone because the elf is taller than you are.
Oh, wow, okay.
And
I'll look up.
I'll take your hand heartily with both my hands, and like, oh, Crooks mentioned you too. You know, you've carried her and helped her and saved her. She really appreciates that side of things.
So while the elf is taller, you think you probably weigh twice as much because most elves are almost stick figures.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
okay.
Nothing wrong with having muscle.
Not at all. Except I don't think Camdu will let me ride on her back like she let Crooks do. So I figure I'm going to have to carry my own butt.
And you see Yodri over the side sort of introduce himself while trying to stop the a little green-skinned child running around taking things off the table.
I greet and introduce myself to Yodri, and then I fix my gaze with the little green guy, and we seem to just stare at each other for a little while. And then I turn back to the Paladin. Is the Paladin there?
Hello, Paladin is here. Hello, I'm Paladin.
You're a Paladin of which god?
Do you even need to ask?
Yeah, do
Well, all I get is Paladin, so... And I'm seeking new knowledge, so I'm not greatly knowledgeable of this particular world.
I am a Paladin of, I think it was Sarenrae?
Tubak.
Tubak.
The lawgiver, which she knows as Father-Son.
Ah, Father-Son.
Yes, the almighty Father-Son.
On your bed.
Well, the elves like to give them familiar names.
Yes.
Like father, brother, sister.
They're family. Just like the tree. Tree's a family.
But considering elves live to over 1,000 years, they get to know their gods quite well.
Good to you.
So, Redrian asks, do you guys remember what happened in the last year, or do you just want me to go over what sort of jobs he's looking for people to do this year?
I think you had some quests out to the west, was it? Or east?
Both, he says. There are many things going right now. He has sent many people in many directions.
How about you go through the list again just to refresh our memory?
So, last year, which was AC 1005, quite a few things were happening. So, what he wanted to remind people of, so they get a state of the world before he asks them about tasks happening in this year. So, in the nation of elves known as Alfheim, the dwarves were causing mischief. A dragon god shrine has gone silent, and other bad things are happening in the forest.
Is this the same forest where we lost our memories?
No, different forest.
Okay.
That was the Elven Forest of Wendar.
Ah, yes, that's right.
So,
And then I probably fall silent for a minute because I mentioned said forest. And get like a glazy look over my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drool comes down one side.
well, technically it doesn't this time because you no longer have the jewel with you.
Oh. Okay.
You are no longer under the curse of the jewel. So
That's in the dragon's backpack, isn't it?
yeah, the dragon has it. So he says in the Alphatian Empire, one of their islands is currently having missing people. So entire army has gone missing in that region last year.
An entire army.
Yeah, an army of Alphatia went missing.
That's a feat.
Can you remind me, is Alphatia the one who believes all magic users are bad?
Alphatia is the one who believes that everyone should follow their culture and belief systems or die.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, they're the people who think everyone else sucks and they should all follow them.
Yep.
Right.
Because, of course, they know the best way of doing stuff.
I don't particularly care to find their army, but, you know, if you guys want to go, we can.
This was what was last year. This is not this year's jobs. There were some heroes travelling to the capital to deliver messages from the prince. But at the same time, Alphatian wizards were dueling with Galantrian wizards in various areas around the Alphatian Empire and killing them in duels.
Okay, so this is a rundown of what's happened while we've been absent.
In the previous year while you were in the desert.
Yep.
And the Alphatian Empire told the Galantrian nation to cease and desist their entropic magic.
Yeah, we remember we were at a party where we received that cease and desist letter, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
In the Shulgin clans, they're fighting each other again for their marriage rights,
Okay.
which they seem to do every year.
Fair enough.
Basically, each year, one of the tribes of each of the clans goes into what they call war mode and sacks other tribes to increase membership of their tribe. So they get someone in marriage by basically clubbing them and taking them back to their tribe.
Okay.
Male or female doesn't matter.
Oh.
Well, it's how some of the strong women of the tribe get to choose the stronger men of other tribes.
It sounds like something Camden would be into.
Very much so.
Well, if you're not strong enough to get a mate, you don't get married.
Yeah, well, I could probably, show you the trail of bodies that Camden was left behind over the years.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure they will visit Camdu some night in the future.
I'd like to see this right.
Well, the ghosts of fallen conquests. Okay, so he has some people have been digging into a dungeon under Darken City itself, and they found a place called the Arcane Chambers, and managed to map it all during the year.
No, that's not gonna work.
And a giant hunter met with the princes in Salenica, one of the merchant princes out that way as part of Darakan and made some sort of agreement with them. Exactly what is unknown. And basically in Selenica, a cart with a dragonborn mysterious cart appeared sometime during the year and travelled south into Karamikos.
Oh.
So in Ethengar, what happened in that year was that there was pilgrims from the Haldanic territories to the north disappeared in the steppes. Or were
Guessing the Khan killed them?
well, they're missing because the Ethengarian teenagers killed them.
Phew.
But when you think that most Ethengarian teenagers are adults, it's not much of a stretch to see why they would do so, because the pilgrims were trying to convert them to their own religion.
Yeah, that's so surprising.
Okay, and the goblins on the steppes have actually having a conversation with the Khan and with the orcs of Thar to see who they want to side with.
So a lot's been going on.
In the Five Shires, there are a lot of people missing in Ringrise, and the sheriffs have asked people to investigate, believing to have some wraiths in Ringrise at this time. And that there is someone going in abducting halflings in the backwoods of the Five Shires. They're trying to figure out who's doing that.
That doesn't sound good.
So in Galantry during that time, let's see, there was a Elven student, Tricoltheus, at the Great School, turns up dead in a canal, and he'd sent some people to investigate. It turned out that the elf was a spy from the Alphatian government, trying to dig up dirt on what Galantry studies. Apparently he dug too deeply, got caught, and was subsequently murdered for his investigations.
Wow.
So he had it coming.
Yes, so keep in mind that what he's asking you to do is exactly the same as what that guy was doing. So in Galantry, you could be murdered for just making the investigations he's asking you to do.
Okay.
So,
Wait, was he working for you?
no, he was working for the Alphatian Empire doing what he's asked you to do. So he was investigating Galantry for Alphatia. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
so be aware that you could be murdered in Galantry for investigating them for him. Okay, in Irendi, apparently part of the People's Temple lost a tablet and were asking people to help them. And there was a crashed shipwreck of one of their nobles who they sort of were too embarrassed to help.
Wow.
Mainly because if they were supposed to be that good a seaman, why did they crash?
Oh, okay.
So in Karamikos, they had a group of heroes who were investigating the forest, led by three gnomish brothers, to find out what happened to the dwarves who investigated it the year before. On the Duke's Road, a bunch of people died with tracks leading into the river, and they never found out who was responsible.
So this is all of the last year, or is this what we're looking to do now?
This was the last year.
Okay. So these aren't jobs that we need to undertake?
No, this is just to give you some idea of what's happening.
Yeah,
give you
so
context
lots
for the
of
new
strife. Yeah.
Year. The Gnome Caravan, the Great Gnome Caravan that travels from the Gnome city in Karamikos to the capital of Karamikos, was missing that year.
So almost every race has been touched by some sort of grief, I guess.
It has, and 2 of the heroes of Karamikos went missing.
How long were we under the pyramid for again, Martin?
Almost a year.
Oh, we were actually in the pyramid for almost a year?
For a lot of this stuff, yes.
Okay.
You stayed there for a long time. In the Minrathad region, there is the guilds there are working with the undersea races, and there's some sort of strife going on there. Apparently there was a war under the sea. Which you guys missed, by the way. In the northern reaches, they had the cult of the Howling Hatred, the air and dark cultists, who got themselves a fairly good setup, and something like 5 different cults are now running out of the northern reaches. So you got the cult of the River Guard Keep, the cult of the Howling Hatred, cult of the Sacred Stone, cult of the Scarlet Moon, and cult of the Fire Witches.
They've got some very descriptive names.
Mm-hmm. So they've all been doing various things in that region, as well as a town by the name of Rahuna having trouble with the Ethengarians. Now, in the area to the north, the Norworld region, the protective artifact of Wendar's gone missing, which means they're being invaded by undead. It was this green stone, and he describes the stone that Crooks has.
Oh, great. That sounds familiar.
And they basically have been calling on elves to help them in their plight, but they don't accept non-elves there. They're still a elf-only country. There's supposed to be a haunted keep up in the Norworld region as well, and that the Ice Shield orcs seem to have moved up there and settled. The ones that came out of the Ethengarian mountain.
Okay, the ones that came down.
Okay, in Rockholm there seems to be groups of dwarves moving into the Great Khan's grasslands to help him build siege engines.
Wow, there's a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at it, I'm like, how long does that list go for?
Oh, they go for quite a bit. I just don't read them all.
It's a very happening place.
Thyatus is having problems with the hill giants because they set up shop on the border of Karamikos and Thyatus. But he's not too worried about that. He's sure not much will happen.
They are hill giants.
Mm-hmm. And there seems to be a food shortage happening in Thyatus city itself.
Oh wow, that's not so good.
So in Yularum, they're hunting magic lamps that year. You missed out on them.
Yeah, we decided not to go on the magic lamp hunt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that pretty much covers what was happening in the previous year. Now this year, that you've been doing stuff, he's got a expansion to his inns opening up in Alfheim City, so people will be able to use his building to travel between various cities of the world as he expands outwards.
Okay.
With this one being his central city.
Okay.
So you won't have to come all the way back next time,
Okay.
as there'll be other places you can travel from.
That sounds good.
At this stage, he's building in Alfheim City, Koros in Darrakan, Corriglane in Darrakan, and Tothmere in the Five Shires.
So if we were to go to any of those areas, there'd be somewhere for us to stay. That's relatively familiar in some sense.
They're built exactly the same as this place.
Yeah. So it's the Hyatt of the Dungeons and Dragons world? Or is it more the Travel Lodge?
Or the Travel Lodge.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not the upper class one.
Yeah.
And most people overlook it.
Yeah.
Because it looks too dilapidated to be
Thank
actually
God
useful.
it's not a Hilton.
Okay, and in Alfheim, the rumours are that there is a haunted hill waking up in the forest.
A hill?
Yes. A haunted hill.
That sounds very interesting.
Yes, but most haunted hills in a place of Alfheim are bad news.
Yes, that sounds like very bad news, but also like a very interesting story.
Mm-hmm. And someone has put up a prize to catch a unicorn.
I'd love to see a unicorn.
Yes, but he's unsure whether or not they mean the unicorn harm or good. Most people who want to catch a unicorn generally don't want it for a good reason.
Let's see.
So, in the Alphathian Empire, the island where the army went missing exploded in a volcano.
The island?
Yeah,
The whole island went?
Well, our volcano erupted on the island, which meant that makes it very hard to do stuff on there.
Catastrophic?
Okay, probably.
Okay.
There's been no news from the island since the volcano went off.
Mm.
And a group of people he sent to, that was sent from Galantry to Alphatia as emissaries, ended up killing the Empress's husband, and have memories of killing him and not killing him at the same time.
What is the significance of that?
They can't prove that they killed him from their memories, and they can't prove that they didn't kill him from their memories.
Are they held by a judiciary at the moment?
As the gods themselves have been unable to give a definitive answer,
That's interesting.
they are currently held waiting execution.
Is there a timeline on that?
Apparently no one wants to take the job of executing them, so it's currently being handed about through their quorum of wizards discussing the merits of who gets the task of executing someone that the gods want nothing to do with.
Oh. Mm. I could see why.
Well, if they're innocent, then they've committed a rather heinous crime. And if they're guilty, then they're backed up by someone of significant power that to allow to basically give them the ability to do such and not be detected as instantly guilty.
Did I understand you said if they're innocent of not killing the Empress's partner?
Then executing them would be a crime against a lot of their beliefs.
Right.
And if they do kill them, then they've got some sort of backing beyond their ability to understand.
Okay, yep.
And retribution would happen on whoever took them out. So either way, the people who execute them are pretty much signing their own death sentence.
I wouldn't like to be in their position.
So that's why it's currently going through the debate of the courts. As each person puts up reasons why they can't be it.
We'll leave that up to bureaucracy, won't we?
So they're not sure how long that's going to take. It's been going for over a month now already. Well, probably, actually it's been going for about 6 months now. What else has been going on there? So the Etruscan clans are continuing their yearly mating rituals, as he's now been referring them to as.
Okay.
Where they find other tribes and grow their tribe by abducting members.
Doesn't sound very civil.
Apparently it's all part of their the strong survive culture.
What they're in? What's up?
Okay, what's happening on his end? They've opened
You're
up
sleeping
a
last
level
night.
underneath Durakan that they've called the Sargorth level.
The Sargorth level?
Yeah. Sargauth.
Okay.
Sargorth level.
Yeah,
That
what's
has
up?
an eerily familiar ring to it.
Yeah, like Zargon?
Yeah.
Quite possibly. We shall know when they finally finish mapping the place. Many adventurers have been lost in trying to map places in the past, but that's what adventurers are for. They sign up for the danger pay.
All the stories?
That too. In Ethengar, the Haldanic Knights have sent in special investigators to find out what happened to their pilgrims.
Yeah.
And the Khan has put people on a spirit quest. So
Okay.
they're he doesn't know what the Khan's asking people to find out, but he is seeking knowledge for something. It's always interesting to find out what happens.
So is Mia.
Mm. And in the Five Shires, the Undead Wraiths have been causing more problems for Ringrise.
The ring rise?
Ringrise, yes.
Okay, yep. So
Though he has tasked the group with finding out what's going on there.
okay, so that job's already taken?
Mm-hmm. And
Paladin probably would like that one.
And in Galantry, he has a few things happening around, trying to find out what's happening in the region of Barovia at the top. Basically where Zal's family is based.
Oh.
Because there's weird things happening in there at the moment as the fog is getting darker and they're starting to have perpetual twilight. He's found out of a place called the Hollow World. Inside their world itself is another world with a red sun and perpetual sunlight.
Did I hear that right? There's a sun
Inside the world.
inside the
Yeah.
world.
The center of the world is the sun with a world around it.
Okay.
I can show you a picture if it will make it easier.
No, I believe you. It just sounds very,
Weird.
yeah, unconventional was what I was going to go for.
Well, that's fairly easy to get to.
It doesn't sound quite livable.
Okay.
So it's like hollow on the inside, and that's where the sun is.
Yep.
And then it's kind of like an island in space around a sun.
It's basically, this is the world itself. You're on the outside, and that's what they call the hollow world, the inner side.
Oh, so there's... Oh, okay, so...
There's two surfaces.
Alright.
So he does recommend if you go down there that east and west are flipped because north is still the same way. And when you're walking on the inside of a world, you are walking a different direction if you go east and west.
Fair enough.
As he's had some people walking in that space now.
So you got a group there already?
He does, yes. Magic works strangely down there, so he doesn't recommend going there unless you have to.
Mm-hmm.
In the Arendia Islands, the Stones of Hope have been lost.
That doesn't sound good. What do these stones look like, just out of curiosity?
He has no idea, he's just been told they've been lost.
Okay.
So he sends people off to find out these things. So in Karamikos, he's got a group chasing up the Red Lib Woods to find out what happened to the gnomes who went after the dwarves the year before.
Okay. So, next year we might be sending people after them so that we can find out what happened to the dwarves and the gnomes?
Quite possibly. And he's got another group of elves who left from Karamikos to help out Wenda find out what happened to their missing jewel.
Okay.
So they're going to. They told him that they should be heading north into Denegarth, the place that's been trying to invade them for many centuries.
Right.
Okay, the Great Gnome Caravan is getting repaired, and they believe it's going to run this year.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound bad.
Having been found in a time loop the year before by one of his group.
They'd have very interesting stories to tell.
They did. And they managed to get it working again. And the Duke's Road serial killer has taken out a few giants on the Duke's Road in Karamikos this year, and gotten a special accommodation from the Duke because the giants have been causing problems. So for the first time in history, they don't actually want to catch the serial killer.
You sniffed that catnip too hard, Therion.
He passed out, did he?
Well, he sneezed. Because he had his nose, like, buried right in the rabbit.
And people are hunting for 3 relics in Karamikos known as Black Razor, Wave, and Whelm. A great sword, a trident, and a hammer.
Oh, that's interesting.
3 different artifacts that the Church of Karamikos lost.
That was very irresponsible of them.
Yes, he thought so too. Then in Minrothad, apparently the Knar are a big push for the war under the sea. And the Tutorial Guild is having problems in with the other guilds because they were not following their rules of engagement.
Depends on whether or not the rules of engagement are reasonable.
Well, most of the guilds have their rules of engagement to stop them wiping each other out.
Fair enough.
And once you start breaking those rules, there's nothing to stop fighting between the guilds. Because once you break one rule, what does any other rule mean? In the Northern Reaches, a cult of the crushing waves has sprung up.
These cults have very interesting names.
Well, they are all elemental cults.
Mm. Yeah, I sensed a theme.
And a leader of one of the communities has died in the Northern Reaches, and they're trying to get help to reclaim the throne before someone else takes over. In Norworld, the Elven Nation is besieged by undead.
Wow.
Which is why they're...
How do people remember all of this?
Well, he deals in information, so he remembers a lot of this stuff.
It's a lot of information.
And the a portal in a place called Castle Neatar has been reported to have been activated. He has no idea where that portal goes, but it doesn't sound great that they've actually activated something up there. He thinks it's relating to the dragons and their kind.
Wonder if that's where little Crooks is going to head after she finishes her tour of duty with the Deceitful One.
Quite possible. The Rockholm dwarves have decided to deal with the giants.
Okay.
And
it's literally a Goliath and, little person sort of scenario.
Yep, but dwarves are skilled with fighting giants. It's their racial enemy. And they're wanting to test, and they're testing basically their tools of war against them. I'm sure the gnomes built half of them, but the dwarves still believe gnomes don't exist.
You should have met Grindelwolf.
I'm sure they would have loved the coffee and said they had no idea where this came from, but it's fantastic coffee.
I think Grindelwolf might remove the coffee until Grindelwolf was acknowledged.
And there's rumours of a party of adventurers from underground reaching the surface in Rockholm, having escaped from some conflict underground.
Wow, there's more.
Well, yeah, there's always more. In Theatus, not much seems to be happening at the moment. They seem to be rather quiet. But in Yularum, they seem to be hunting something called the Sparkling Spear.
A sparkling sphere.
Yeah. There's always interesting and weird things happening in there because it is a nation full of artifacts that people seem to forget about when they wander into cities.
Interesting. What's up? You got tired of your catnip toy? Where'd you go? How do you end up going on either side of me without me realising?
Because when you went to look down, he walked around.
Yeah, he was playing a game with me and it hurts.
He does like doing that. Okay, so he says, which of those ones most appeals to you?
There was a lot there.
There's always a lot. There's always a lot happening.
Well, there was one involving Zal's home.
So what was the question there, Em?
The Karamikos. Because I think that's where we were headed before, or we had the option to head to Karamikos or head to
Daraka.
the Yolarum, and I think we picked Yolarum.
Yeah.
He says, well, he has people in Karamikos at the moment, so he doesn't really need to send anyone there.
Oh, okay.
What about the fracas going on in your home area?
Yeah, the only problem with that is that we have, and I accidentally look at the Paladin and get Paladin screaming in my face.
And
go, and point to him and go, that one.
And you'd also know Druids are not welcome there either.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Sorry, I forgot that I was even a druid because I haven't been this character for very long. I do have a name, by the way.
You do? What is your character's name?
Ravinia Thala, R.A.
Give me a moment as I put it into the screen.
Yep.
R.A. Oh, I've actually got to use the right keyboard.
Yeah, that helps.
R.A.
V-I-N.
V-I-N.
I-A.
I-A. That should be enough for that.
T-H-A-L-A. That's the whole name. But I'm known by Ravi. No, actually I prefer Thala. Thala.
Okay. I just want the one that you're known by up there.
Thala.
Because otherwise it takes up too
Oh,
much
it goes
space.
up on that screen, does it? Well, I can't see that screen.
It's all good.
Yeah. That's the quickest coming up with a new name I've ever done.
Well, you get better at it.
My Star Wars one took me like 4 weeks.
Okay, so he does think Galantry would be problematic considering you have Cleric, Paladin, and Druid.
Okay, so maybe not there.
I mean,
and a
I'm
halfling.
Cleric.
He says even a half cleric could get you into trouble if they detect your divinity.
Are there any particular jobs that Redrian is more keen for people to follow up than others?
Well, he has people in Alphatia, though they're currently incarcerated. He's hoping to fix that.
Hopefully not with us. 'Cause I don't
Doesn't
know that we
that
could
they
do
have a
that.
beef with my second home? So, again, that's a place where I would probably be prosecuted. Having tried Galantry.
Yes, you probably would be, but...
You sound very interesting.
You could head into Ethengar and find out what's happening with the investigation into the Pilgrims, as well as what the Khan is trying to do.
And they have the negotiations with the Goblins at the moment too, don't they?
No, that was last year. He doesn't know
Oh.
exactly how that turned out because neither side wants to talk about it.
So if we found out any information on that, you would be happy to hear?
He will be more than happy to hear about that because if they side with the Ethengarians, it can be bad for the rest of the world. And if they side with the Orcs-Athar, it can be bad for the rest of the world.
Fair enough.
Either side has its problems.
I'm sure my Axebeak and my horse would be happy to be back home after such a long trip away.
I'm sure you would enjoy travelling the lands you know.
I mean, I'm all for going back home, but well, I'm not sure where is our new elven friend. Sorry, Thala, did you say?
Thala.
Yes.
Yeah.
Druid.
Where do you hail from?
I don't know.
She comes from from Alfheim, which is
Alfheim.
right next to where you are.
Yep.
Oh.
So if I bring up the
I
map
better
for
write
you
that down
all,
now.
Is if you can see the little hand moving on the screen.
Sort of.
So
Okay.
is
so-
Alfheim spelt with an A?
ALFHEIM, I think it is. Alfheim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Elfheim?
That's about right. Alfheim.
Yep.
And you were in Darken City, which is down below below that.
Okay.
And
Have
Ethengar.
you ever been to the plains before?
No, I have not.
And you said you are a learned scholar, or would like to learn?
I'm just starting out on my first journey for my tree, to collect knowledge for my tree. So I'm interested in any venture that would help me gather stories to tell my tree.
Well, the plains have many a campfire story, so
That sounds really good.
Yes, you have many legends.
I look at the paladin homeward bound.
Is that for the paladin, that question?
It is
Yes.
the paladin.
And I look at the paladin and immediately look away in regret again.
Looking at the paladin? What you really need is to put a mirror over your face, so maybe it reflects back at the paladin.
No. He needs to wear his hood more often. He has one. She has one. She just refuses.
Oh, I see.
She has a smoking smoldering cave, which she loves, but she refuses to wear it.
So that shows you Darken quite a lot easier with the red surrounding it. And that little island of red in the centre is Alfheim.
So I come from this area.
Yeah.
And above the area, up above it, is Ethengar. So you're not that far from home.
Well, I'd say we potentially have a solid bearing then.
What about Camdo and... Is Camdo still there?
Yeah,
You happy to go for the plains?
well, that's where I come from.
Yeah, okay, yep.
It is her home too.
Sounds
It's been a while
like
since you've been there.
sounds like a destination has been chosen. Where are we
It can
going,
be,
by the way?
but you could kill more suitors while you're there, I say jokingly.
Maybe I'll find one I like.
Maybe you will.
Where do you come from, Camdo?
Coffee in the background there.
Okay, so I will look something up while you guys are talking.
Where do you come from, Camdo?
I don't know, somewhere on the plane. I can't remember.
I just wrote mine down.
Out of character, I can't remember.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I couldn't remember either because I'm very new to this one. Do we know if I'm male or female?
That's your choice.
You should ask Chanel because she's part of the princess.
Yes,
and
Chanel.
she
But
was
for most
like-
elves, you can't tell unless they show some obvious bend one way or the
I
other.
will identify as female.
Okay.
I don't know my age yet or anything like that, do I?
It would be over 100.
Okay. And in mortal terms, does that make me like a teenager?
Yep.
Okay. So it
Yeah,
would
'cause
be appropriate
you
that this is
first
my
said you're
first time away
starting out
from
on
a
your
tree.
journey, so we presume you're a young elf. Or younger elf.
Yep.
Considering you just said you've left your home tree, which is normally quite a big deal for elves.
Yeah, I've got a twig that my tree gave me that I keep in my pack and hug at night. So that I can remember.
Just don't let the axe beak see that. It might think it's a shoe stick.
It's got leaves on it.
Yeah, my axe beak's a bit weird.
Okay, I'll be very careful. I might have to have a chat with the Axebeak.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm fairly sure Crooks gave me a few tips how to get along.
Okay, so Sue.
Sure she did.
Something about coffee that's not coffee?
So Sue belongs to the Merkits of the clans.
How do you spell that?
Murkits. They are known as cautious imperialists, and the Mogulai Khan is currently their leading Khan, and has convinced the tribes not to fight each other for the first time in history. They are in discussions. The other clans are the Bortaks, known for their scheming. Then there are the Kairuts, known to be puppets of other clans. There is the Kayats, Harbourers of evil spirits, and the clan that M's character comes from.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's where I'm from.
So,
Sounds about
what
right.
was that clan called?
Kiyats.
Kayats?
Kayats, yeah. However you say it is correct, I'm sure. Then there are the Tajits, who they believe are Galantrian spies, because they live so close to Galantria, they've got to be spies.
Okay, that sounds like a little bit of paranoia.
There is a lot of paranoia amongst the different groups.
That's probably understating it.
There are the Igors, hardcore aggressors, which would probably suit our paladin, because they both support and oppose the Khan.
How can you support and oppose the same thing?
They support some of his decrees and oppose others.
Okay. So it's more the decrees they support.
But his decree is his word. So if they oppose his word, then they're opposing him. It's not.
That sounds like it'd get complicated real fast.
It is. It's not a diplomacy.
Democracy.
Democracy. It is a single leader. Dictatorship. Yes. There are the Yakars, who are known for their blood feud avengers.
That sounds deadly and messy.
Well, they're the ones who, if they feel like they're wronged, will hunt you down and kill you, and then have their children hunt you down and kill you, and then their children hunt you down and kill you.
What if you're already dead?
Then they'll hunt down other members of your family.
I see. I'll make a mental note not to go near those people.
So do a lot of people, but then they might find that as a reason to do a...
So do all these clans, they're on the plains where we're about to go?
On the plains. And then there are the Yugatais, who are known for their anti-Galantrian sentiment.
Wow. So they think Galantry people are spies too?
No, they just don't like wizards.
Oh, okay.
For them...
what about druids?
They love druids.
Okay, okay.
The only good wizard is a dead wizard is one of their sayings.
Okay, I'm glad I'm a druid.
And not an undead wizard. An undead wizard is worse than a dead wizard.
I can kind of see how that follows.
So for them, the only good bonfire is one that has a wizard on it.
Oh, that's pretty aggressive.
Well, as far as they're concerned,
Whereabouts are these guys?
They represent the different regions of the steppes.
Okay, so what part of the steppes are they?
Okay, let's see if I can find it and point you to it. Where is the...
Sorry.
Ethengar.
I just want to make a mental note to try to avoid this place. It sounds bad. Do we have any wizards with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is a wizard essentially a cleric?
In your limited knowledge of the last, 20 minutes we've been talking,
Yep.
you noted that my home is Ethengar,
Yep.
But my second home is also Galantry.
Right, okay. So there's going to be some problems that we need to be aware of.
Not
That's the wrong one.
Not automatically, but...
I have to be careful that I don't use my wizard spells in Galantry. Oh no, in Ethengar, sorry.
Okay, right.
Okay.
And same for Galantry. I can't really use my cleric spells in Galantry. I've done this lots.
So the
Life
ones
is not easy for you, is it?
So the ones with the blood
No.
feud are the ones who are in the lower area of it, closest to Durrican.
Okay.
So you have to pass. You can pass through their territory.
Can we go around it?
The ones off to the side are the ones who are believed to be Galantrian spies because they have the least invasion from Galantry.
Okay.
Then
We've never had problems getting through the steps.
well, you normally head through the Yugatais above them, who hate wizards.
Didn't we have to pass through the Blood Clan to get down to Darken in the first place?
No,
No.
you basically pass through the. There is a.
We took a boat.
You took a boat and went through went a different way.
So we sailed right by if we went
Oh,
anywhere
right.
near them.
Because unless you cross the river, you don't actually end up in the blood feud people. So the central area over here is where the Great Khan and Sue's people are.
Alright. You could see your dad.
And many
Oh, see
brothers
my
and
family.
sisters.
Yeah.
So the ones above them are the hardcore aggressive ones who take on the Haldanic people.
Okay.
So if you see that there are all these little cross swords here in
Yep.
this area up here, each one of those represents a battle.
Okay.
A major battle, not a skirmish, but a full-on war.
Yep.
And they're only in this area between those two parts.
Yeah, it's a small area for all those battles.
Considering there are none on any other side of the country, only along that border.
They're having quite a dispute there.
That's why they're known as hardcore aggressors. Now, the Harbourers of Evil Spirits are the ones who are where the Ice Shield orcs were,
Okay.
in the area over here.
What's that red
Hey,
space?
we're in
This area
taking
here.
order of Ethengar, aren't we?
You're basically, you can pass through the southern border, past the Blood Feud people, as one way of going. You don't really want to go anywhere near this place down here because that's where your fiery paladin lost his earthy nature. That's where Crooks was also imprisoned.
Yeah, no, maybe not.
Oh yeah, that's the hill that's infested with dead things.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of dead things there. The Land of Black Sands is this reddish area up here where it's a spiritual area of the world that is toxic. So entering that area without the right gear is a death sentence. And one of the crimes that they, for various crimes of the country, will have people sent there. It's not recommended you go there at night. And it's almost impossible to cross in a single day.
So you've got to camp somewhere very hidden?
No one who camps there generally comes out unless you're with the shamans.
So you need to be friends with the shamans.
Very much so. And who have we got? The Vortarks up the top up here are known to be scheming.
Are there any, like, decent people here? Aside from Zal's people and Camdu's people?
The cautious Imperialists are the Centaur.
Yep, that's Camdu's people.
Yep. M's people are the Harbourers of Evil Spirits.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call us nice people.
And Josh's people are the hardcore aggressors.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
It was just suiting with the personalities of how the people were playing them.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's what you learnt about the various things
So,
going on.
what's
there.
our mission in the plains again?
To find out what's happening with the Great Khan and why he's find out what's going on.
And aren't we supposed to be finding out what happened to Undead?
That too, because he would rather have an independent people group find out what happened instead of a bunch of overzealous people causing more problems.
Sorry, what was that Emmy said that we needed to...
There was a massacre of
Oh, a massacre.
over-preachy people coming down from the north.
So, investigate the massacre. Are these over-preachy people called anything?
Haldanic clerics.
Clerics. Okay, I think I've got all that.
Yeah, because Ethengar is very specific about how we cleric.
Alrighty. So we're going there to find out what's happening with the Great Khan and investigate the massacre of the Halderic clerics. The alliteration there is accidental but interesting.
And you are currently in Darrakan City.
Right. Well, I would say you guys have just come off a quest, I'm guessing?
I think, have we had a few days rest, Mom?
This is the second day after you rested.
Yeah.
So I gather you don't want to head straight out. You maybe want to restock and things? I can show you around the town.
I think we should restock on provisions and get ourselves ready.
Yep. What time of day is it?
It is morning.
Okay, well
You've
that's something.
You've just had breakfast.
That's something we could do today, and then depending on how quick you want to head out, we can head out. We might want to go and see our animals and check up on them and that sort of thing.
Alright, go make sure my axe beak hasn't, got a leg of a person.
I'm sure he won't kill people because you've been training your animal, haven't you? Redrine asks.
Yeah, you took your axe beak with you.
Yeah, I've been getting more in touch with why they've been acting out.
Uh-huh.
And why is that, he asks?
They're jealous of each other. So my horse is jealous of my axe beak is jealous of my horse.
Do you give each of them equal attention?
I have been endeavouring to do that, and I'm not sure to how much success so far.
Well, it does sort of sound as if you're having trouble with that.
Yeah, that's very hard because, if I ride one, then the other one wants to be ridden. And then if I ride that one, then the other one gets cranky, and,
Yes, I can see how that would be problematic.
So I gotta give them jobs to keep them happy. So if I'm using one for riding, I gotta give the other one a job. Which is harder for the horse because he doesn't hunt, but I'm working on it.
It does sound like it's a lot of effort that you have to go to. I'm sure it's worth it.
I'm trying to keep my animals happy the best I can.
Okay. Well, enjoy your day's preparation. You planning on heading out today or tomorrow?
I wouldn't mind heading out tomorrow. I also I want to use the evening to pray to my god and hope that it's still Yamugo.
Have you been having a change of religion recently? Have you?
Well, I'm not sure if this whole Zargon debacle has what that done. I haven't had a chance to detangle that yet.
Would Calcrix and Thala had a chat before they got on?
Possibly.
Would Calcrix have explained that she could see that Shofar was deceiving the rest of the group?
Could have, yes.
Would that be something that I could explain to them at all?
Yeah.
To just try and help clarify Zal's mystification with what was going on?
You can also, Zal did note that, that a spell, that Shofar cast a spell on herself when she apparently died.
So I explained that Shofar wanted to be taken into the temple, and Calcrix could tell that Shofar wasn't being entirely truthful, to be diplomatic. And once you guys were there, unfortunately you're in the hands of the god Zargon. And she kind of was exchanging your shadows, because that's how she decided to interpret Camdu's request to return your shadow to her. Well, Camdu and Cheval engaged her avatar, which was possibly not the best choice, but barbarians being impulsive, that's kind of true to their nature.
I look at Camdu in surprise that she's still actually alive.
Well, Calcrix made friends with the Avatar by giving the Avatar coffee. And the Avatar, in return, returned Chauvel and Camdu alive. If what somewhat unconscious. And as I understand it from there, you guys returned to the temple of the girl one, starts with M.
Madura.
Yeah, that one.
Madarua.
And after discussion, it was kind of decided to return home to recover from said interactions with all gods.
Right. Okay. This fills in some of my missing information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is Calcrix's view, so you guys might perceive it differently.
Yeah, Zal says that his memory of the whole thing after Sofa went in and he went into the Zagon temple the first time when she was dead is a bit fuzzy.
So, as a player, I would say Calcrix views this all as Shofa's fault, because Shofa lied and deceived her way into the temple, and she deceived her party. As far as Calcrix is concerned, that's pretty evil, and not really on when it's your party. So if she's relating this story to Thala and Thala to you, it would be very biased in the sense of Shofa did it, it's all her fault, she's to blame.
Yeah, right.
She's 6.
Yeah, I mean, I trust the dragon, but I had trusted Sofa as well, so
Yeah.
I'm still trying to reconcile that as well.
It does become interesting.
Yeah. At least you have filled in some of the missing information for me, and it's a shame that I didn't get to say goodbye to Calcrix before she left.
She would have loved to have stayed, but
Paladin.
the gnomes were leaving. What was that, Josh?
Bush. Okay.
What about
So at least you can trust. So at least you can trust your friendly neighborhood paladin.
Calcrix was highly complimentary of the paladin.
Yeah, Calcrix viewed the Paladin as her personal healer, /fire/warm thing. Blanket, yeah, you know.
Amongst other things, yes. She also looked up to the paladins' commitment to truth and to the smiting of undead and evil things. And that's one of the reasons she's gone to keep an eye on Shofa. Because she wants to mimic, for lack of a better word, her mentors.
Right.
Kill the undead evil thing, I see.
Pretty much. You know, just going back there to see whether or not there's anything she could do.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have a plan. Also, if you're curious, I did put down players as Ariadna on one screen and the hat of Cushion as the other screen. If no one knows.
No, I can't see the screen.
That's okay for the others online.
Oh,
You
right.
actually get to see what's up there.
Yeah. Yes, Cushion is representing Shofa.
Nice. The screen's a bit far away on my coffee table, so I can't actually read it.
Cushion get left behind?
No.
So Cushion is with Shofa?
Yep.
Okay, well that's good.
And the band of merry,
Gnomes?
Gnomes have gone as well.
Okay. It's going to be a bit quieter.
And Grindelwaffel's gone too.
Yeah, Grindelwaffe went with Crooks.
she actually took him this time.
Oh yeah.
I don't think she wanted to be without him for as long.
Yep. And Grindelwaffe was made aware of the dangers and wanted to come anyway.
Fair enough.
Though there is a different gnome serving coffee in the place today.
Oh, Grindelwaffe had an apprentice.
Ah.
She says she's different, she doesn't have a beard, so she'll be able to tell. Well,
yeah, this is Crooks' cafe.
Oh.
She's Grindelwaffle's been running a cafe out of Knight's Rivet Inn for the past year.
Yeah.
They've expanded into baked goods. They particularly like the round things that are doughy with sugar on them. Although why it's got a hole in the middle, nobody understands.
Oh, they say it represents the world.
Yeah.
So they call them hollow nuts.
Hollow nuts, yes.
Interesting. I should go try some of these hollow
I'd like
nuts.
to call it hollow rolls, actually.
Hollow rolls, yeah, well, the gnomes think that most people seem to go for nuts, so that even though they're doughy,
hollow nuts.
hollow nuts seems to roll off better than hollow rolls.
Okay, fair enough. It is the gnome doing it, so that's fair.
And most of them are coffee flavoured.
Well, there'd be other flavours.
There are, but they like their coffee.
That's true. Yeah, I can see the gnomes being very addicted to coffee. Alrighty.
Okay, so, where would you like to head in Darrakan?
Well, Zal wanted to go see her animals.
What was that, Em?
Is there a supply shop?
There are many supply shops. Redrian can get you basic supplies fairly easily. The inn itself has a stock of basic foods that he has to, equip various people coming through.
I'm thinking more because we were using Crooks' bag of holding.
I have a bag of holding. And Crooks did pass on a number of things that she believed belonged to the group rather than her, so that they would stay with the group.
That was my next question.
She's not an untrustworthy deceiver and teller of lies, like Shofa is.
I don't think Stefan will live that one down for a while.
No, she's going to give him all she can, because I rolled a natural 20.
Gotta make the most of those 20.
Exactly. Because you took 2 away from me earlier in the year.
It wasn't me, it was the rolls.
Let's just view me as like kind of Crooks looking at Shofa. And, there's a similarity in our relationships. Your version of events is that they weren't proper rolls. My version of events is somewhat different. No.
Yeah, did you roll one of them on the floor?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
The rest of the group know my rules.
Yeah, well, that was my first natural 20. I was outraged.
But then your second one was with disadvantage.
Yeah, and I lost that one as well. So I'm gonna make the most of my 20s when I get them.
It's all good. Okay, so yes, would you like to head out and get anything else besides basic provisions?
Zal probably will grab his own bag of holding because he's been meaning to grab one for a while.
Okay, so you want to go to the eye store? The store with a big eye on it, sells magical items and has all these little eyes around it.
Oh, you mean the beholder store?
Yep, that's why they've renamed it the eye store.
Ah, why have they done that?
Oh, EYE store. The eye store.
Nah. Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
Has many eyes. They see everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They also drool on everything too. But, whatever.
Like a certain day, that's just fine.
Just make sure you don't complain to upper management and you'll be fine, Redrian says.
Yeah, we haven't had a problem so far, so...
I gather I've got different monies from the monies that Cowquicks had.
Mm-hmm.
Would Cowquicks have left some of her money with the group?
No, she would have taken hers with her because it was her money.
Yep, okay, yep.
And your character would probably have about, maybe about 10,000 gold.
Okay, alright. I just wanted
Did
to
we
make
get
sure.
any gold from this job?
Well, he says you didn't quite complete the job and he's had to send another group off.
Well, yeah, I won't go into, hazy details again, but we did get you some stuff.
There were complications.
So there were complications, he agrees. That's why he had to send off another expedition.
Yeah.
And he did pay to get you back here early.
Sorry?
He did pay to get you back here early. But he can give each of you a budget of 5,000 if you wish to spend and get stuff while you're here.
For this quest.
No, I think I also have money in the bank.
You probably do.
I write all my money down. I'm going to have to create a new front page, I think. Because, oh no, I can write it here. Because I've got to go over with you all my gear and stuff. Alright, so, I'll note that I've got 10,000 at the moment.
Yep.
So are we going to the magic store? Ye old magic shop?
Sure, let's go to the eye store.
Okay.
Ye eye store?
Ye olde eye store.
Ye olde eye store.
Where they still sell iPod nanos.
And I'm sure the nanos work perfectly fine while you're holding them in the store. Okay, so and we'll see. Do you wish to look at any common magical items?
I have an attunement slot free now, don't I, Martin?
You might have. You should have 4 slots.
I think I have the golden arrow, my circlet,
Let's see.
my book. So I might have one free.
You globe?
Oh no, yeah, it must be my globe instead of my book. I don't think I have to attune to my book, do I?
You can attune to every magical item. They're designed that way on purpose. So Zal has 17 items.
Yes, yeah, I know I have a lot. I should probably start selling some of this stuff.
Unfortunately, you need to spend downtime to do so.
That's fine.
Takes
I'll do
a
it
while.
later. Next time we have downtime.
So you do have a bunch of stuff there. A lot of them are arrows.
Yeah, I have the golden arrow and I think like 4 different elven arrows of unbreaking.
Yep.
Lots
of
I have
books.
lots of books. I think I have that skeleton whistle. or whistle of the dead, or whatever it's called.
So you got the
this-
drift globe, the stone dagger that you stole from the tomb, the wand of entangle, the various books on beast law, dragon law.
Which I've read through most of those in my downtime.
You got a tankard of
Lots
sobriety,
of them.
a headband of intellect.
Yeah.
The 5 elven arrows besides your golden arrow, and a holy symbol of Ravenloft.
What's the that bone whistle? The one that like you have to whistle every day to keep the dead alive?
That one I haven't got listed up here, so it's obviously missing.
I have the name of that somewhere. Or it might be in someone else's item, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I had that.
That may have been given to Chauffeur at some time.
Maybe.
Lost one, medallion, stone, spell scroll, wand. No, he doesn't have that.
No, then I should have that. I'll see if I can find the name of it in my book. I wrote it down.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, actually, I think that was in the last list I sent you too.
I probably haven't got around to updating it. A lot of things have been happening.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so at least one thing I can add in there.
Yep.
Going in there, do you wish to ask? Okay, so as you come in, you meet what appears to be a glowing elk that comes up and walks up to you.
Oh, a somewhat normal sales clerk.
And it asks you in a strange voice that pierces your skull with pain with each word. How may I help you today?
Oh, great. This is just like the paladin.
Yes, except every word hurts.
Except every word hurts. Fantastic.
And it says fantastic, and you feel that with question mark. The question mark seem to hurt more than the actual statement.
Oh, that's wonderful. An item I wanted to attune to was another wisdom or a wisdom-based thing.
Well, to get specific items, you generally have to spend downtime to chase them. Otherwise, you get random items from the table that they don't tell you what they do fully. So you get to spend money on chasing an item or random item that may be better than what you were looking for.
Well, how about I see what they have in terms of that?
Okay.
Or do they not know what it does?
Most of the time they don't. They have a vague idea of what the item does, and they have potential of 14 items available today.
Wow.
Okay, so as the elk asks you what are you looking for, what do you say? It says, I can provide you with common items, uncommon items, rare items, very rare items, or legendary items. What is your pleasure?
Legendary?
I am after was it braces of wisdom or something along that lines? I think. Or ring of wisdom or something like that.
You want something of wisdom.
What's
Well-
wisdom?
Yeah, something to boost my. My magical abilities. Let's just say that.
Well, there are many things that boost magical abilities. Here, let me try to find something for you. First item is apparently some armor. He thinks this armor will fix your problems for you. So he says, this will boost your magical abilities for sure. It's a round thing that goes on your arm and protects you from everything. So that will boost all your abilities.
That's not quite what I was after, but...
Says, don't worry, it will only set you back about 12,000 gold.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's supposed to protect you from everything, so I can see why that's pricey.
Do you want it in there? There's an aioli there.
Well, many things give you special powers. These are the rare items we have in store today. Would you like me to look for another item for you?
Let's see what else you have.
Okay. He says, I have this hammer of beating.
Hammer of beating. That's can-dos.
I do it myself. I don't need one.
How can you resist a hammer of beating, though?
It's also going for 12,000. It's very good at making people wish you didn't hit them.
Can-do already does that on her own.
Exactly. I don't need one of those. Maybe Cheval would want it.
I think Cheval already does that too.
What's this?
It hits people and makes them regret it. Pissing you off.
Oh, they piss me off. They don't exist anymore.
Well, if you're not after a hammer of beating, how about this wand of poking?
Is it literally a wand?
Well,
It's only this big. It's not like a lance or something.
Well, he's sure it's a wand. It says on here, wand of poking. So you poke and it helps you.
Okay.
It makes you very powerful.
Okay.
It sounds like another wand of magic missile or something like that.
I'm sure if you get them in the eyes, it's very powerful. Not as good as my horns, but hey, nothing's as good as my horns.
I don't know, maybe my horns? I mean that lightheartedly.
And the elk looks over you and says, "You've got horns?"
Can I change it to an elk?
You can.
I've got elk shape, yeah. I change it into an elk.
Okay. He looks you up and down and says, "You don't glow though.
No,
You
unfortunately.
need to work on that one."
I need to work on that. That is true. I do admire your glow. I changed back into me.
Ah, so you're a druid that shapeshifts into a elk.
Yep.
Okay, so if you don't like what I've got there, how about this? He goes and finds a. This is a special suit of shininess.
Shininess?
Guaranteed never to get dirty.
Well, Chevelle definitely doesn't need that.
Already. I've got one of those already.
You've got a suit of shininess already.
I've got special clothes that always stay clean. Yeah.
No, yep.
Doesn't Chevelle have like the tunic that stays clean as well?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
He says this one's made out of metal suit.
Well, good luck getting the paladin to give up his armor, and probably same for Kandu.
Oh, that's not his problem. He'll try see what else he's got there. Oh, apparently, what he pulls out there is and here we have a suit made from a real dragon.
Wow. Yeah, that's not a good look. Next.
Okay. Well, considering that doesn't appeal to your interests, let's go over and look at more sticks. Now, this is probably right up your side of things. It's a horn donated partly by yours truly. That is probably the most powerful item we sell. The elk horn.
And how much does that go for?
Oh, it goes for 12,000. Just about everything we have here is on the special sale price of 12,000 today.
Okay, interesting.
And what does the Elkhorn do?
Prestige, my friend, prestige. If you have a glowing Elkhorn, you've obviously got the best money around.
Fair enough. Maybe our druid would be interested.
She is. She just doesn't know she's got 12 grand.
Well, the party can spot you if you want.
I got 10 grand.
Seeing as you're new and all.
Well, Redrian did say he could spot us 5 grand, so I am very interested in the horn.
And he shall put aside that so he'll know that that might be something you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want him to find more wares, or do you want him to find some from the cheaper side of things, as you seem to be looking for finding the 12,000 to be a little bit of a buffer?
Yes, let's see what some of your not quite so extravagant items are.
Okay, less extravagant items it is. So,
Bless you.
oh, thank you. Again.
Gesundheit.
Ah, thank you. He has.
Yay!
He has a
2 weeks of extreme pollen. Woo!
Yeah, Martin's been dealing with that too.
Yeah.
It's been
I feel
fun.
So
I feel
much
your pain,
fun.
I've been out today, so my senses are all loving me.
Yay!
Which is why I've still got jumper on, by the way.
Well, at least the rain will dump everything. It's just if we get winds in the next couple of days after that, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's been really windy here today and non-stop rain.
Okay.
Well, I've just been in pain from the booster dose yesterday.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got boosted?
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the booster because it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Yours might be for a while though, wouldn't it?
Really depends on what the doctor says.
Yeah, we're going to check with the doctor on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be around January or February that we're generally due for it, but because Martin has 2 autoimmune conditions, he might have to go early.
Yeah, right.
I'm considered high risk.
Yeah.
So, he says, I have this book about being a dragon.
How much is the book about being a dragon?
This one is going for 400 gold.
Okay. Are you interested in that, Camdo?
No, I don't want to be a dragon.
I do.
So, he says, okay, he'll put that by your pile.
Well, that's a pretty big jump going from 12 grand to 400 gold.
He says, well, that's the difference between the cheaper, less reliable options and the more advancing, such as the Elkhorn of Supremacy.
Is there anything like slightly more high end, or is that the two extremes only?
Oh no, we do go higher than that, but I didn't think your budget allowed for it. But we can. I'll go right up to what we have in the top end if that's what you're looking for.
Legendary.
I mean, sure, we may as well see what you have.
In
Elite
our top
those.
end today, we have. Apparently, it's in that pile, and I'll make a actual roll. So it is a D24. Okay, so it is a amazing sword known as Iron Fang. At least he thinks it's a sword. I'm sure it will talk to you and tell you all about its needs and wants and desires.
You may regret that.
And considering I'm sure it's within your budget, you can outlay the 200,000 gold today for that item. You've got that on you?
I certainly don't.
No, I think that's well out of our budget range.
Would you like to see another one in that range?
No.
Curiosity says yes.
Then we'll find another item in that range.
This could be good for my tree.
You seem to like to spend lots of money.
Oh no, I'm not going to buy it. I just want more stories from a tree.
Okay, I have the scale mail from the Ruby Dragon.
The scale mail from the Ruby Dragon. I make note of this in my little journal for my tree.
That one is currently going for 300,000 gold.
I make note of that too, and then make a small whistling noise. Yowee!
You have only 5 items left to preview.
Oh, are we limited to that?
14 items only.
Oh, sorry. I wouldn't have
Would
wasted
you like to
that.
see another one? He says.
No, I'll let the group choose. I didn't know we were limited to items. So I will definitely let them decide.
Should we go back to the 12,000 price range or go to the lesser file?
I think that might be up to you guys. I already know what I've got my eye on.
That's what I was asking the rest of the party.
I'm good with what I've got.
Yeah, I'm good with what I've got.
So, Em, it's up to you. What would you like? See what's behind door number 10.
Should we be thinking about your tree at this stage?
I'll talk to him.
I have a feeling what I'm after is probably in that uncommon 12,000 range, but whether they land on it in...
Rare is 12,000, uncommon is 400.
Right. Let's go a couple more in the 12,000 range, and then
Okay.
the last few in the 400. And we'll
Thanks
see.
so much, Robert. Yeah, why not?
Apparently today is stick day.
Stick day.
Every day is stick day, if you've got a backyard.
As he has the bright spark stick. I'm sure that will come in handy for you somewhere.
Bright spark stick. So was that wand of flame or wand of illumination or something like that?
Oh, he's sure you can figure it out. You look like a smart sort to him, he says.
That was the funniest ha-ha laugh I've heard in a while.
Of course it hurts every time he talks to you, so he's more than happy to keep talking if you wish.
Not really. Next.
Okay, let's see what else he has in the ranges today. Apparently not a stick this time.
By the way, I'm writing a description of the entire store and everything I see.
Okay, so, he calls it the Rod of Fun.
No, I'm just not going to go there.
Rod of fun. I think it wasn't a stick.
It's not a stick, it's a rod, he says.
This is a PG show, so I'm keeping my mouth well shut.
He says you grab it tightly and have fun with it.
God, it's getting worse. Oh my goodness.
And then you show your rod to others.
No, you don't.
I asked Chauvel if he wanted to get a present so far.
No.
Oh, come on, didn't you two have a thing going?
No.
I just realised that they had that encounter with the love potion.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Sofa start splurting about this love potion, or was it you?
Chauffeur, I think.
Yeah.
Chauffeur was trying to give Chauvel back a pebble?
Was trying to give them luck, so they had a potion that helped them get lucky.
And they got lucky together. I'm pretty sure Chauvel does not want to be reminded.
He's got the stone of reminding.
But your dad does a good job of projecting it on walls.
Yes, that's a so cool story. So now.
Okay, so apparently you're not interested in the Rod of Fun. Would you like something else?
Sure.
Okay, in the same sort of range. Okay, so that one looks like it's a different thing here. So we have a dragon's tooth.
Exactly what does that do?
He's seen a lot of dragon items.
I'm sure it helps you eat things. He doesn't really know. He's an elk. He doesn't really need pointy teeth. I'm sure it comes in handy. He prefers his horns because it's just so much better.
I don't know. Dragon's tooth sounds like it could be pretty dangerous. But I get you on the horns.
Well, if you're going to have to bite something to use it, it doesn't sound like it's going to be fun, he says.
You have to bite it to use it.
He has no idea. He doesn't use teeth. He's reading his description that he's been given.
Oh, okay.
It says dragon's tooth. So it might be you actually stick the tooth inside and you become a dragon. Who knows?
That would be really cool.
How many items have you got left to look at, Martin?
2 more.
Let's put 2 more in the cheaper pile.
Okay, cheaper pile it is for you, Mr. Okay, so that one's going to be an interesting one.
Is that a 1?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. So he has apparently you seem to like those round things of protection. He says you stick it on yourself somewhere and it protects you.
Oh, another thing of protection?
Yeah.
What does this one protect against? If the other one was protected against everything, and it was more expensive, this one's protected against less?
It does protect. It's a lesser version of the other one. But hey, for a lesser version, you spend a lot less money.
True.
So 400 is 400 gold for the lesser round thing of protection. Then the 12,000 for the bigger round thing of protection.
Can we tell what the shape is?
You don't see it. He's just describing it.
Okay.
Well, he said the other one was like an armband.
Okay.
I think.
Yep.
Alright, I might be interested in the greater thing of protection, but I'll see what your last item is, and then...
Okay. And the last item will be... He has this rather charming item. Yep. It just says charming item.
That's it.
Yeah.
Charming item. Well, we know what happened last time we got given a lucky charm.
You could be my love. No.
How much does it cost to get specific items, just out of curiosity?
Costs time and effort. You're talking about weeks to chase things down. You're talking about weeks to chase things down.
Yeah, right.
I get you. It's hard spending 12 grand on something you're not quite sure what it is.
Yeah. Oh, it does sound cool.
It does.
I think I might buy it, but I'll also ask if I can find something else specific.
Well, you've got the charming item, the round thing of protection lesser, the dragon's tooth, the rod of fun, the bright spark stick, the scale mail from the ruby dragon, the sword iron fang, the dragon book which Thala has put aside, the Alcorn of supremacy which Thala has put aside, the suit of the dragon, the suit of shininess, the wand of poking, the vicious hammer of beating, and the round thing of protection.
Do you know what the class of the red dragon scale mail?
The red one, well, if you've got the 300,000 for that item, I'm sure it would be more than in your price range to take the gamble.
Oh, right, that's the
There's dragon's suit of armor, which is not the red scale of the ruby dragon, was 12 grand.
It was 12 grand, yeah.
Yeah.
That was 12, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the DC of that, if you know?
You don't know.
Don't find that out?
No.
Okay, alright.
It was described as suit of the dragon, and people said we don't want to hear anymore.
Okay, alright.
So he didn't describe anymore.
Okay. Could we ask for more now?
You can, but he sort of looks at you going, but you told me not to tell you.
I changed my mind.
Whose mind you have now, he says.
A different one.
What's this one's called?
Let's go with Ravina.
Does this mean you don't want the items for the other mind?
No, we want those. But
Well,
we
you had
want
a
to
different
hear
one.
more about the dragon scale suit of armor, please.
Oh, the suit of the dragon.
Yeah, the suit of the dragon.
Well, his notes say it comes from a real dragon.
Does it say what kind of dragon?
No.
Does it mention any kind of colour?
Doesn't have colour at all.
No colour at all.
Not in the description.
Oh, okay. So it might have a colour.
I'm sure it does. What could go wrong with a suit of a dragon?
Does it give any more detail than what you've given us? Can I use my charm?
Let's buy it.
Sure. Give me a
Where's my tower?
probably hidden somewhere.
Any tower? Oh, there it is. There's a wood one.
Probably because I was in the middle of trying to get the sheet off. There's your tower.
Alright. 8 plus. Do you have my stats at all?
I can get your stats.
I remember my
Mostly.
charm was pretty high. Persuasion.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm hungry.
Okay, let's see at the bottom
You are hungry,
stats.
puppy.
So you have +3 with your persuasion, so +6 to your roll.
So 14.
14, okay. He looks you up and down and goes, well, it does say here it's for a medium sized person, so it would probably fit anywhere between a dwarf and an elf.
That's all I can get, Gazelle. I tried.
That's fine. Do you have any more information on the greater ring of protection, the first one we heard about?
The greater thing of protection, yes.
Yeah.
The round thing of
yeah. Apparently, you strap it to yourself and you feel better. I'm sure most people understand what that means. He doesn't exactly know where he'd strap it if he was using it because, well, he doesn't really have, he wouldn't strap him to his legs, so he'd just trip over whatever it was.
I'm still not going there.
I'm sure if you strap the round thing on, you'll do better. You are talking to an elk after all.
I really don't want to go there.
He asked you need a strap on.
No. I'm fine. I can turn into an elk myself.
Don't you understand? He has no need for strap-ons.
Exactly, so I don't need one either.
So what does our intrepid horsemaster want?
I thought Zal was a cleric.
Still a Ethengarian.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, Ethengar is my race, not my class.
Yep.
I will buy the greater thing of protection.
And did you want the charming item as well? Did you want the charming item as well?
The charming item.
Yes.
The round thing of charm.
No, it was the charming item.
Just the charming item, yep.
That was the $400 charming item.
Yeah, I'm okay with it without a charming item.
But if you want it, Camdo, you could get it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Camdo gets the charming item. And did anyone else want anything?
Can I afford my elk horn?
You can afford your elk horn with the help.
And my book?
And the book.
That would be all I'd be after.
Okay. Did any of those appeal to our Master Paladin?
The Paladin's gonna keep what he has. What she has.
That's all good. Okay, so you managed to pay for things on your way out.
Can I get them to start looking for the item or the specific item that I'm after?
He says he's sure you could. He says fill out this form and you basically get this big wad of papers laid in front of you. It looks like there's at least 200-300 pages in the form.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want some help filling that out?
He says don't worry. It's all in triplicate.
This is almost as bad as the bloody Gnome Contracts.
Oh,
Yeah.
we sell those too if you want one too.
No.
No, I'm good, thanks. I guess I'd spend the rest of my day reading through this and signing when I need to.
So basically, you get to keep one copy. The store keeps a copy, and then they send one off to the person to make the item.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So that's how you get items made as well. So as you walk out after spending all that loot, M ends up with the round thing of protection greater, which is a shield +2.
You need yourself a shield.
I mean, sure, why not?
You'd have it hammered into a bracelet. A bracer. It might fit on your leg.
I mean, if it makes my AC even just a bit higher, then that's kind of useful.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
thinking like a
Ring.
hip point thing.
Well, it does make it. It does protect you in nearly all ways. And the Alcorn Rod Ariadne got, as well as the Book of the Dragonologist.
The shield better be worth the 12 grand.
Well, amusingly, that is how much they're worth. A +2 shield is worth 2 grand.
Wow.
The charming item that Sue picked up is a charm of remove curse. So Camdo can now expend the charm to remove curses if she wishes to.
That might be handy.
Nice.
Do we know what my elk horn does?
I'll have to look that one up.
Okay.
But as we have hit 10 o'clock, you have managed to get yourself a bunch of items before you head off, and we may see if Yodri wants something in the next session. And
Yeah.
if we end up with the warlock yet to be named.
Oh, yes, the warlock yet to be named.
Yep.
Warlock yet to be named.
Yep.
Well, chauffeur's
yeah.
missing. Yep.
So that would be Stefan's character will be the warlock yet to be named.
Sounds good.
So just so you know, the Rod of Fun was a Rod of Rulership,
Oh, okay.
which really does only work if you show people it. So when it says you grasp the rod with both hands and show people your rod, it's basically how you use it.
Okay. Oh, why did I put those in there?
I just thought you'd like
What else did we pass on that?
Wand of Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, okay. I was close with Wand of Fire.
Wand of the War Mage, which would have been fantastic for you for ranged attack spells.
Can we just... did you say, like, last time we did this, we wrote down things that we could come back for?
If they don't get sold in the meantime.
Yeah, can
Everything has a chance.
maybe, Zal write that down for something
So the problem
next
is
time?
you now know what they are, not based on what it was.
Okay, what does that mean?
That would be player information over character information.
Oh, okay.
Once you tell someone what it is as a player, it's no longer a surprise item.
Why
they're
was
buying.
I allowed to come back and get stuff from...
Because they didn't explain what they were.
But I got like a pearl of power or something like that.
Yes, but you didn't know what the pearl was when you bought it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That was the distinction. If
Okay.
you don't know what the item is, you can still buy it. Once you
Okay.
know what the item is, you can't buy it.
Okay, alright. Well, maybe we don't want to know what the other items are.
But yes, you now have a better way of protecting yourself. Because shields are really useful items.
Well, I have a shield now.
You do have a shield.
I have
Woohoo.
plus 2 shields.
Yep, a +2 shield. Let's see if I got the +1 shield. What do I do for +1 shield? So as a comparison, the standard you get with it is you'll get a +1 to your +2 to your armor class
Yeah.
on top of what the shield would normally give. And the uncommon version gives you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing chosen after a long rest. What a +2 does is give you resistance to 2 of those. And the +3 gives resistance to all 3.
Huh, that's cool.
So that's what attunement does for you for the shield. The shields do give nice things if you attune them, but it's the cost of what don't you attune.
Yeah, I do have a list of what I currently have attuned, so I'll have to go through that.
Yep.
I think I might have 1 slot, but I can't remember.
But you'll be able to pick and choose amongst what you've got on a daily basis to say, what do I want to attune today?
Yeah.
And you don't have to be attuned to everything.
Yeah.
What's up, Darian? You impatient for us to finish? You've been sitting there all quiet.
Did he make himself high on catnip?
I think so, because he was like kind of passed out on the chair, and now he's meowing in kind of like a happy meow.
It's
Like he's got this little rrr that he does when he's kind of happy, and it's a very soft, happy sort of rrr.
It's also his way of saying, I'm playing too. Sometimes he sits on the chair and sticks his head above the table. Sometimes he just lies around. But he's got the whole tail in the air, happy look
I
at
think
the
the
moment.
catnip's worn off, and now he wants attention again.
Okay, so we'll let you guys go so you can feed and put me to bed.
Yes, we also need a bath though, so bath and then a feed and then night, hopefully.
But the idea is
after 1 o'clock last night, so
Wow.
Oh, wow.
the idea is every time you walk into the ice door, you get a d20 roll to see how many items you can look at,
Okay.
and then you ask.
Sorry, I wasted one.
You found out about something you didn't know about beforehand.
no, it's okay. It's not a waste. We just can't afford it, even though the item is probably really cool.
Yeah,
Oh, it is really cool.
it sounds really cool. What's up?
As an example, if I go down to it, because I think I have detailed it. Where we go?
But what if I want to buy it? I can save up.
Like 50 years.
Your campaign runs forever, and I'm an elf.
Mine does run forever, and it's actually a legendary item. Let's see if I can. There are. Not that one. I clicked on the wrong button.
Are you high? You look high. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
It's always fun when it decides to close the item for you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're finishing.
Okay, so you know exactly what the armor does. This is the basic item before you get special versions of it. Your one was a special version. It's made from the scales of the ruby dragon. While wearing that armor, you have advantage on saving throws against the frightful presence and breath weapons of dragons. And it counts as scale mail. When you attune it, you have a +2 bonus to AC, a resistance to one type of damage based on the dragon. As it's the ruby, you are resistant to fire and radiant. You can discern the distance and direction of the closest dragon within 30 miles of you that is of a fire type. Once per day. And you can attune 4 other dragon-based items to the same attunement slot.
Oh, nice.
And if you're a fireologist, you use 1 less soul burn to drop your fireology effects or dragonology effects.
Nice.
And you can have both fireology and dragonology active at the same time, which is not a common thing.
That's cool.
And if you're a dragon kind and you're wearing it, you gain access to the fire and radiant damage type with your energy attacks.
Mm.
And if you are a red fire type dragon, you gain immunity to fire and radiant damage. And their
Nice.
fire and radiant attacks deal an extra 2 dice of damage. So there is a reason that's a legendary item.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
items like that, how often are they affordable to party members?
they're affordable when you're in the 16 to 20 level range.
I see.
They're the items you're saving to buy.
Yep.
You should be able to afford the very rare items on a regular basis, which is about 30,000.
Okay, yep.
But buying the more expensive items, other things like, I want to save up for that.
Yeah.
I have one of the. You should have one item of the next bracket, roughly, which means that at the levels you are now, you should potentially have one rare item.
Crooks saved up for the Pearl of Power, I think, or something.
Which is why the rare items are so expensive. Because you're in the uncommon bracket where you can easily afford uncommon items.
Okay.
Levels 1 to 5, uncommon items, but they're so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as you
Definitely.
go up each bracket, the items become easier to afford.
8?
You are level 7.
7.
You've got the level 8 detailed, so you don't have to worry about it when you go up.
Oh, okay, yep.
Which is why I'm putting the next level down, so it's one less bit of maths to deal with.
Yep.
So you guys all good?
Yeah, all good. Just have a baby that's getting a bit hungry, so
Yeah.
if you can't hear the groaning.
I can.
Yeah.
It's like, feed me! Feed me!
I need food!
She's like, I'm squatting on your lap and I'm being noisy about it.
I'm gonna get noisier the longer it takes for you to see to me.
Pretty much.
I wish that
Well,
worked for adults. Actually, it does
We'll
for
give
parents.
her a bath first. She tends to go quiet in the bath because she likes being in the water.
Water! Splash, splash,
Nice.
splash, splash.
Get her into swimming.
She's been kicking a lot more in the water.
Does this mean you start to have the you start to wear the water as well?
Yeah, yeah. That's not a problem though.
As expected.
It's expected. It's like getting dirty at the dog park.
Yeah,
It's
that's expected. It's like, I go roll in the mud and then I come up and rub up against you.
pretty much.
Thanks, Poppy.
They're the friendliest when they're sopping wet.
That's true of cats, too.
Let me share this wetness with you. I feel drier now, thank you.
Cats like to try and share their vomit with you as well, which is not fun.
Yes, we should head off so we can get that done.
Have a good
And
night.
get
Well,
those.
you know,
Thank you for playing tonight, and we shall hopefully see you again next Friday for the ongoing Pathfinder shenanigans.
Oh god.
Just think how tonight went. I'm sure that there won't be anything as bad as that tonight next week.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll be worse.
I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not even in the game.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yep,
Although,
I'm sure.
I think he's unfolding very slowly his sinister plan to get me into all these games.
Well, there's 2 so far.
And he's working on a third.
Nice.
All of them.
Not sure. I'm not sure how nice that is.
Include you.
That is true.
Include you.
I think though when it comes to role playing and Martin, he wants to include everyone.
It's why I record and broadcast afterwards so everyone can have the horror.
Yeah, you are our recruitment for the RPG face. Kind of like the Imperials, but, RPG.
Well, that's what I do in Star Wars.
Dun 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 dun.
Well, they have the recruitment officers in Star Wars. Talk to them all the time about joining the Empire.
Just ask Stefan next Friday how he feels about being the poster girl for the Imperials. And Mark Williamson as well. He's also been the poster girl for the Imperials. Both of them are being, tricked into it.
Oh,
And
no.
they're Mandalorians. Only with Martin.
Of course.
I wish I could GM. I'd so get you back.
I would so love it. I don't think there's anything you could do to me that I would say no to.
Oh yeah, that'd be the point. It'd be to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be no vindictiveness in it.
I would take the curse dice just so I could not roll a 20.
Oh god, yeah, you would. Yeah.
Martin is terrible, and we'll leave it at that.
Yep.
I have a set of dice that does not have the high numbers on it, and they've replaced them with more low numbers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I would be more than happy to use them as a player.
Isn't that like the opposite of the D20 D20?
Yeah, it is, because I've got a D20 that always seems to roll high no matter what I try. And this one...
You can buy D20s that are just D20s.
You can. So this one's known as the Precision Curse Dice. And every high number has been replaced with a low number.
That's awesome.
Or you could do the Precision High Variance Dice, where all the middle numbers have really been replaced with high and low numbers.
Ooh.
So I thought you'd like the sounds of those dice. So the middle ground removal one is something you can spend a luck point on to use to roll. Or you might get curse and have to use the curse dice.
That's cool. I like that.
Someone does have a remove curse on them, so I don't think they're going to suffer from it very often.
Yeah. But I still don't want those dice.
Okay, well, we'll let you guys go.
For the 4th time.
And we'll see you next
For
time.
the 50 millionth time, we always do this.
Yep.
Mia is actually very patient.
She is.
Yeah. She's very good.
Though Therion in the background has been very demanding.
Yeah, he's not very patient. He's like, why haven't you hung up already?
Yeah.
Yep, that's him. Still meowing.
Okay, we'll see you guys later. I'll go to end credits and have a good night.
Yep.
Alright. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.